Yeah.
Exactly.
Morning, Linda.
Good morning, David.
How are you?
I'm doing okay. How are you doing?
Good. You must be busy.
Well, kind of. I I just had a few extra things thrown in that I don't want to deal with. My they they I I had another dermatology appointment last week and they found another skin cancer. So I'm gonna do
Oh,
a surgery this afternoon. That's why I couldn't come out. Didn't have
yeah.
time to get back for that. So
Yeah. Oh, well, our kitchen is coming along very well.
good. I'm excited to come out and see it.
Yeah.
I was
You
hoping to.
may hear some noise or see somebody pass by today because they've got to work. So,
That's okay. That's okay. We
yeah,
can deal with that.
I know. I know you can.
Part of the test of the focus of our meditation, huh?
I see. Okay. Probably Carol won't be with us because she's in Maine and she didn't think she was going to be able to get a connection.
Okay.
But maybe. I am
Yeah,
expect.
if we've got time to hold out, see if she can join. I'm
Oh
fine
yeah.
waiting for a few more
Um,
minutes.
um, and Joanne said she expected to be here. So, but
Oh, I saw an email from her yesterday that said she wouldn't be able to. Were you on that one?
oh, I haven't been on my email.
Yeah, she sent one yesterday. She said, I'm sorry, but I have to miss tomorrow's meditation. I have to be in a meeting that I can't miss. She said, Linda, I think it's only you this week while Carol is away. So,
I think that's probably true. Well, I'm glad we're recording.
yes, yes, those are so good, so helpful.
Well, particularly today, this is a rather important lesson, of
Oh,
course,
of course.
of
Of course.
course, but that's all right. But we'll wait a minute here and see if Carol comes through, but I'm not expecting her
Yeah, yeah. So,
because it's difficult. Our
yeah,
um,
yeah.
our our counter is absolutely stunningly beautiful.
Ooh, very
It
nice.
really is. It's gorgeous, and the cabinets can they're just we are in heaven. It's not we can't move back into it yet, but maybe tomorrow or the next day.
Ooh, yay. That'd be great. That's
Very
been quick.
very fast
Yes.
and 4 weeks sooner than we were supposed to start to begin with.
Wow.
So it's kind of fun. We had the kids series, first Dylan and Allie came for 3 days, and then Zach and Frankie came.
Mm.
So we've had our our family here with the kitchen in the living room, but they chose to come anyway, and we had good times. So sort of
Yeah.
camping out, as it were. Well, I think we're going to go ahead, Linda, and you are going to have pretty much a private lesson, although it'll get shared with the others.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, any questions or thoughts to begin?
I don't have any. I got some good practice in, but it's just I don't have any questions about it or anything that I can say was, revealing to me.
Okay. I'm sorry to hear that.
I'm expecting enlightenment one of these days. What's up with this? There's going to be a lightning strike one of these days, and presto
well,
changeo,
well, there
right? Isn't
there
that how it
might
works?
there might be sometimes that's true, and sometimes not. Uh, so, looking at heaven and earth, I'm going to kind of focus on movement 3 today
Okay.
because when we start looking at that movement in more detail, as your elbows are folding in, that first, really what we could refer to as the first third of the movement, the elbows are trying to fold in until the forearms are parallel to each other. And you want the chi between your forearms to go into the brain. And
Mm.
at first, it'll only probably, maybe, go into the middle of the brain, but eventually, you do want it to go all the way from side to side, all the way through from side to side. Uh, and this will start moving the fluids inside your brain. And it's very important that you keep the shoulders down. If they go up, it actually breaks the connection. So also we want to remember to be aware of the 70% rule each time that you do this. Shaking the arms and elbows sometimes can help you make sure that the nerves have released. And you want to feel between the arms for the energy. Then when you go into the second third of the movement, when you're coming to here, you're pulling the energy through the brain, and you're pulling it over the Wei Qi and down to the point where your tongue touches at the roof of the mouth. And you want to feel it when you arrive at that point. And then in the third one, the third part, you're still bending. You want to remember, often we stop bending after 3A and B, but in 3C we still want to be bending. And the palms stay focused on that point in your mouth as the elbows lift and the fingers drop. And so even though as you do this, the hands change position, you're still getting that Lao Gong point in the palms to connect directly to this point where the tongue touches at the roof of the mouth. And you don't want to lose that. This action pulls all the energy down from the brain to re-enter the body. Blood and qi get stuck in the head and your brain, using a large amount of energy. While all Qigong that work with the brain are interested in energizing the brain, it is equally important to get the blood back to the heart where it can be oxygenized. This generally involves sinking. So this part 3C flushes the brain. The dropping of the fingers and the lifting of the elbows without lifting the shoulders drops the energy and the blood out of the brain. So precision counts in this movement. That point in the mouth is on the connection vessel. And as a connection vessel, meeting point, The conception vessel is part of the microcosmic circuit, or the small heavenly circuit. And the channels are part of the 8 extraordinary vessels of traditional Chinese medicine. The bends are like a qua squat, but the focus is on the spine. And we will talk about that more a little bit later. So the qi pathway of yang energy of the heavens is basically downwards, and the yin energy of the earth naturally rises because because of the core of the earth is fire. And from another perspective, the energy of the heavens permeates the earth, and earth draws in the energy that the heavens is projecting into it, while the energy of earth reverses that. These were thought of as moving through the body in the large and small heavenly circuits. Now, movements 1 through 5 are actually working with the large microcosmic circuit, and 6 and 7 with the small circuit. The marriage of heaven and earth has many levels of practice and can progress a layer and each progressive layer incorporates more powerful chi processes. Eventually, maximum benefit is released by having them all happening at once. All our senses function at once. All the thousands of bodily processes function at once. The liver alone has 212 functions, and the body manages to balance them all without a problem. So, what is important is that your mind needs to be in a very open and receptive space. The mind needs not to fix on one place, because then it cannot focus on anything else. Just flow without making one segment more important than another. And remember, separate and then combine. Don't let the mind laser focus. That gets in the way, actually. So the macrocosmic orbit pathway in heaven and earth is, as I think you know, up the inside of the leg and then up the side channels and out the outside and of the arms and up the sides of the head to the crown of the head. You are engaging the brain and also cleansing the brain. You're bringing energy into and through the brain. The descending macrocosmic orbit goes through the brain and down the side channels of the head, then down the side channels of the body and around the hips and down the outside of the leg. You're straightening all the way through 4 and 5 when you're syncing your energy. Now, a basic principle is that when something goes up, something else goes down. So in 4 and 5, the spine and legs will be straightening as the hands go down, completely linked to each other. The straightening of your spine strengthens the energy projecting out of your hands. The fingers curving in at the end of going down your legs takes energy to the bottom of your feet. So, What I'd like you to do is to stand and do a practice of heaven and earth and
Mhm.
endeavor to incorporate these things that I've been talking about. And in particular, in three, being aware of the first part, folding the energy into the brain, and the second part, bringing the energy through the brain and over the top of the head, and then keeping the focus on that point at the roof of the mouth as the fingers drop and the elbows lift and the shoulders stay down, and then dropping the energy through 4 and 5.
Okay.
So do 10 repetitions of heaven and earth and see if you can incorporate that and begin to feel it.
Okay. I lost count. I think that was 10, but I'm not sure.
It's fine. So, what did you feel?
I could really feel so here. I felt like I was delaying this a little bit longer because I was feeling some of the energy. Not it was minimal, but I could feel some of the energy between my elbows.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I felt like I was kind of delaying it a little bit more before I started pulling it over
Hmm.
compared to what I've been doing. And yeah, I could feel that energy. I could feel it, um, a little bit between my elbows, a
Uh-huh.
little bit. And I think that that helped. Um, but it was more focusing on, yeah, I was trying to see if I could feel that energy. And I think, I don't know if I delayed it too long. Did you notice if it was,
What I felt was that you didn't clearly complete each of the thirds of three and make them as equal as possible.
yeah, yeah, I agree with that. I think I was focusing too much on here, then coming over, and
And
I spent a lot of time working to be sure I wasn't starting to come up here
yeah.
before my fingers dropped. That was something I'd spent a lot of work on this week. Um,
Uh-huh. Good.
so I felt like I kept that going, but um, yeah, it just so it was where that third this part of it where you're going from here down. Is that what you're
Well,
saying?
um, can you, I guess you can see me here.
Yes, I can. Yeah.
So you want to really pull the energy in and then pull it across and down and then drop it into the body.
So you pull it in here. Do you keep everything parallel here where you're pulling it over?
Until you reach that point where you start to uh, close the armpits and then you have to let it spread, but which is good because that allows you to drop the shoulders and to connect to that point here with the two Laogong points of your palms.
Okay.
A little, a little hard probably to see on Zoom.
Ah,
Was that, was what I said clear?
yeah, yeah. I'm
Okay.
just trying to think how to put it into my body.
Yeah.
Here.
Well, I think the thing, one of the things is to think about it as, and maybe I can, I think, and now as I think back to when I was learning this, that I separated it and made it deliberately three parts, even with a pause between them initially, just to get it clear.
Okay.
So, having come to this point at the
Here.
end of two, I would fold in, bending down, and then pull through, continuing to bend, and then keeping that connection and dropping the energy into the body, continuing to bend.
So
It's
it's right at the end of 3B. It's before you finish 3B, you start feeling the opening of the armpits. Is that right?
you have to, yes. 3B has to involve both staying parallel and separating. And then
And then three.
3C is lifting the elbows, dropping the fingertips, but maintaining the connection to that point in the mouth.
Okay. And then at the end of 3C, where you're starting to go down the side channels,
Right.
that's where that's where you're
That's where the hands separate and go down the side channels to the qua, around the hip, and down the outside of the legs.
okay. You had mentioned to me personally a couple weeks ago that I was not doing that. Was that I had worked on that? Did that improve today?
It seemed to me it was better. It could still be cl- perhaps clearer, but I am on Zoom, so
Right, right, right. Okay, yeah.
um,
I'll keep that in mind as I'm
yeah,
working. See if I
we-
can incorporate
we'll,
a little bit more.
we'll we can work on all of that more when you're actually here.
Yeah, yeah. So, but this, okay,
And
so,
the one of the things is to be aware that of that sense of working through the energy of the brain, and it's not something that we sense quickly generally. I suppose there are some people that do, uh, but it it takes a while to get that sense of the energy going into the brain and then through and and then dropping down.
yeah, I think that's why I was kind of focusing more on the elbows, bringing it into the brain here, because I can feel a little bit of it as I'm going over the top, but that whole concept of bringing it into the brain with the elbows, bringing it,
And
feeling
and
it.
but one of the things I would say is not to focus just on the elbows because the elbows they're way out here. It's it's your forearms in this case that are really pushing the energy into your brain because they're going right in there. They're going right towards your brain.
Yes, 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 yes.
You know.
Because the elbows are all the way foot in front of my head. So yeah, it
Yeah, the elbows are
makes more
out
sense.
here.
Yeah.
You're right to focus on the elbows in the sense that you want to bring the forearms till they are parallel to each other.
Hmm.
So the elbows have to come far enough forward to accomplish that, but that's really in a way part of the physical movement. The
Right.
the energetic movement is having brought the energy up the body now is to bring it into the brain, through the brain and over the head and starting it down and then dropping it down through the body. So you're working, the reason I mentioned the macrocosmic circuit is that in 1 through 5, you're doing the macrocosmic circuit, and in 6 and 7 we're doing the microcosmic circuit
Mm,
of energy.
mm.
So one is bringing the energy up from the feet, 1 and 2 from the feet all the way through to to a number of places, to your fingertips, certainly to the crown of the head, and then 3 is starting it down, but it's very focused on that brainwashing technique.
Mm, 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 mm.
And then 4 and 5 complete the macrocosmic circuit.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Any other questions at the moment?
Not at the moment.
Oh,
Just trying to incorporate the whole thing in both choreography as well as energetically.
yeah, and that's definitely part of the issue. Is you have to focus on the choreography at first, before until it's completely natural, before you can really completely focus on the energy.
Yeah, yeah. And I think that pause between 3A, 3B, and 3C might really be a benefit so that I can do more of that incorporation,
I think so. It's a
relatively
good.
close. Yeah.
I mean, eventually you don't want the pauses, of course, but I think
Right.
as a practice tool, it's very helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Pausing can be a help.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Well, I hope Joanne and Carol um, can can grasp some of that. We'll undoubtedly come to some questions when they return.
Yeah, that's what's nice having the group is sometimes they can articulate a question that I'm kind of feeling.
Mm,
And so yeah, that's why I was trying to put more things into words and feelings, hoping that maybe my question can also benefit them too, because I know how much I get benefit out of them
ab-
asking questions too.
absolutely. I clearly remember how often in class somebody would ask a question and I would think, oh, yeah, of course. Why didn't I think of that? I want to know that too.
Yeah, yeah,
So it's, yeah, uh, that is one of the advantages of class.
yeah.
So moving on to meditation, I'm actually going to talk a little bit today before we actually meditate. So, to feel chi directly, you must become open and sensitive to to its subtlety. You have to become sung, or in order to dissolve conditions or blockages, or to sync your chi. Now, sung, S-U-N-G, means a complete release, a complete letting go, until holding of any kind is relaxed by a complete sense of openness, space, and comfort. Sinking and dissolving, however, are not the same thing. Sinking your chi is a complete, unambiguously felt internal release. It begins wherever your mind focuses inside your body, travels downward, and finishes either in your lower dantian or at the bottom of your feet or into the earth. The feeling of letting go physically should eventually be accompanied by a definite physical feeling of a downward wave inside your body. Some physical signs of sinking your chi are your breathing releases and relaxes. Although breath and chi are not the same, they are very closely related. Secondly, you become able to sink your chi. When you become able to sink your chi, the breath becomes soft and silent. And 3, sinking the chi through an alignment, particularly one that is not quite right, allows that place to go sung so that the alignment will be easier to adjust and maintain. And 4th, muscles will soften and joints expand as you sink your chi. 5th, when you can sink your chi to your feet, they may become very hot. And then the inside of your body feels increasingly wet. Chi moves like fluid inside your body. So as the chi sinks more freely in your body, the fluids move more freely as well, resulting in a feeling of wetness inside your body. Now, dissolving is the process of fully releasing a blocked energy, described by the process ice to water, water to gas. Now, dissolving requires that you work directly with your chi. You can sink your chi without dissolving it. However, you cannot dissolve your chi without also sinking it to some degree. So dissolving is subtle, since it works directly with the chi. Sinking internally works primarily with physical sensations. So sinking builds on the awareness of your physical sensations in your body to lead to direct awareness of the chi. This leads to recognizing and directly dissolving blockages in chi during the dissolving process. Eventually, sinking and dissolving will become one seamless process. Dissolving requires that you release energetic blockages out to the natural boundary of your etheric body or aura. So dissolving releases not only downward but also outward. The energy that is released assumes a natural state and recycles back to you as energy that your physical body can adopt for ongoing needs. So we're going to sit and again endeavor to be aware of the four conditions, starting with Bai Hui at the top of the head, and first with that point, and then with any of the four conditions that you may recognize as you move downward. You want to go through the whole process of ice to water and water to gas, releasing as much as you can and keeping in mind all the principles that we've talked about over the past few weeks. So, do you have any questions before we begin?
No.
Okay. So, let us sit. And being very aware of our posture and structure. And our breathing. Then starting at Bai Hui at the crown of the head and working downwards. And when you come to a spot where you can pause and begin to close. Sending all benefit gained from this practice out to help all the sentient creatures of the universe. So, any last minute thoughts or questions?
Comments.
Uh huh.
Um, I hope Carol and Joanne can feel the energy that I felt today. It was an amazing
Good.
session. Thank you. Thank you.
Good. Oh, that's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Well, I hope so too. Indeed. Um, and I look forward to seeing all of you next week, which is the beginning of a new session, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
So, look forward to that, and I hope you have a good week and good practice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll see you
Take,
next week. Hopefully in person next week.
hopefully, that would be great. And you
Yes.
can see our kitchen.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
Actually, I think next Thursday the tile guy will be coming to do the backsplash, which will be the only thing that isn't probably complete when you get here.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
good. I look forward to seeing you.
Yes.
Okay. Take care.
Thank you. Hi to
Sure.
Jane for me.
Indeed. Bye bye.
Bye bye.